Young man, I'm not going to play this game with you. You are on a public sidewalk.
So why would I need to leave?
I'm giving you a lawful order that you need to vacate in front of the area. Yeah, you're free to go.
I'm free to stay. So you're going to put your hands on me?
Oh, yeah, turn around. I've asked you to move. I'm just detaining you.
Okay, for what crime?
Because you were failing to identify yourself.
What crime?
That they felt unsafe and that he...
Yeah, he didn't break any laws because he was on the sidewalk.
Right.
Gave him an awful order to move out in front of the bank. He's got people nervous, and he's failing to identify himself, so there's no reason. Once he tells me his name, he's free to go.
Well, if he ain't on their property, then he's not trespassing.
Hey, what's up guys? Long Island Audit here, back again with another video. In today's video, we are going to be exposing Officer Gregory Wenker of the Lake Ozark Police Department in Missouri. Officer Wenker is one of the dumbest tyrants I've ever seen. His ignorance of the law and uncontrollable ego is going to cost the taxpayers, and he should be fired immediately. Stick around until the end of the video for my thoughts. Let's get into it.
Hey, how we doing? Pretty good. What we doing?
Don't mind me asking, is your body cam on?
It is.
Okay, why do you have your gloves on?
I always wear my gloves.
Okay.
Why you have a mask on?
Do I not have the right to have a mask?
Absolutely, but what are you doing filming the bank?
Exactly what it seems like.
For what?
Is there not a First Amendment?
There is a First Amendment, but you've got people concerned, so I'm just asking what you're doing.
So my right to record as people concerned? So you enforce feelings?
No, I'm just asking what you're doing.
Why don't you enforce the law?
Get your hands out of your pockets.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's pretty cold, so
I understand.
I don't have gloves like you. So
you want some?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I like to have my hands in.
You got any ID on you?
Why would I need that?
I'm just wanting to find out who you are. You got a mask on. I can't see your face.
Exactly. We're in public.
You are. But you need to vacate in front of the bank.
And where am I at?
You're in Lake Ozark, Missouri.
Am I not on the public easement?
You are.
So why do I need to vacate the public sidewalk?
Because you've got people nervous and they want to know what you're doing.
Are you giving me a lawful order?
I am giving you a lawful order. You need to you need to move the area.
Let me ask you this.
Young man, I'm not going to play this game with you.
You waive your qualified immunity.
I'm not going to play this game with you.
You waive your qualified immunity.
You need to step. You need to get stepping.
You waive your qualified immunity.
You need to get the stepping.
I'm asking you to pull out your sergeant. I'm asking you to get your sergeant.
I don't have to get my sergeant.
Get Sergeant Myers.
I don't have to do that.
Get Sergeant Myers. I'm asking you to get a sergeant here. You don't know the law.
Yeah, I know the law.
You're a dangerous man.
29 years I've been doing it.
You got your gloves on. You're ready to put your hands on me.
I'm not going to put my hands on you.
Jail?
My hands are on my vest.
You gave me an unlawful order to vacate when I'm on a public sidewalk.
You are on a public sidewalk.
So why would I need to leave?
I'm giving you a lawful order that you need to vacate in front of the area. Young man, I'm not going to... Yeah, you're free to go.
I'm free to stay. Thank you.
You need to vacate the area.
I'm not vacating.
Yeah, you are.
Nope.
You can go with me then.
So you're going to put your hands on me?
Oh, yeah, turn around.
I asked you to put... I asked you to get Sergeant Myers.
I'm not going to put... I'm not getting Sergeant Myers. I've asked you to move.
I asked you to get Sergeant Myers.
I've asked you to move.
I asked you to get Sergeant Myers. You're going to... Don't... You're going to... Hey, excuse me. He threw my phone down on the ground, guys. He threw my phone on the ground, guys.
Good. Yeah, I'm good.
Threw my phone on the ground, guys.
I sure did.
Why'd you do that? Can you get my phone, sir? I'm asking you, do you not want to get Sergeant Meyer out here?
No. Well, I'll take you to him.
Why not?
Even better, huh?
You're gonna unlawfully arrest me.
I'm not arresting you. I'm just detaining you.
Okay, for what crime? For what crime? For what crime? Don't turn my phone on. Don't turn my phone on. That is my First Amendment to record. Do not turn my phone on. Do not turn my phone on.
Boss,
do not.
It hasn't been recording since your phone was around.
Okay, then.
So how do I turn it off?
He turned my phone on.
I'm not turning your phone off.
You threw it on the ground.
The screen won't stay off.
Exactly. You threw my phone on the ground.
Phone up here, okay?
That's fine. I'm asking to get Sergeant Meyer out here. You're making a mistake.
What's your name?
I'm not telling you my name.
Well, you're failing to identify yourself, so that's why you're getting
crime have I committed?
You're failing to identify yourself.
What is your reasonable articulable suspicion I committed a crime?
What ID or something?
What is your reasonable articulable suspicion?
Because you were failing to identify yourself.
What crime
708 Miller, I got one detained.
Is this the same guy we dealt with?
708, 702. He'll never answer his radio.
Give me a call him. Good.
Hey, can you come to Central Bank and see if you can identify this subject? He's been asking for you for the last 5 minutes.
Plate light out that I cited.
Yeah.
He's been. So I know his name. I just can't think of it right now.
Gave him an awful order to move out in front of the bank. He's got people nervous, and he's failing to identify himself. So there's no reason. Now he's been screaming and hollering for you anyway. Says he knows you. That's what he said. He won't take his mask down. He won't tell me who he is.
Is your body cam on?
It is.
Sergeant Myers. What am I doing in
You know his?
I'm familiar with him. I don't remember your name right off my head, but
What am I doing in cuffs?
well, he detained you for his investigation.
He couldn't tell me what crime I committed.
You failed to comply with a lawful order. I done told you.
What crime
I
have I
told you
committed?
to get moving, and I told you to identify yourself.
What crime have I committed?
I just told you.
Before you were here on the scene, what crime have I committed?
None. Until
Okay, so why do I have to ID myself?
Because I gave you a lawful order to do so,
I have
because
not
I'm investigating on why you're standing out here in front.
You cannot articulate what crime I
Okay, all right.
All right, let me get the.
He can't articulate what crime I committed.
Once you tell me who you are, you're going.
That is the. I can figure his name out.
Because what he was doing, he was standing here, he wasn't breaking any laws by being on the sidewalk. And I asked him, I said, hey, you've got people in here nervous. Would you mind stepping down the road for me? He goes, am I on a public easement? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, why is your fucking gloves on? I said, I wear them all the time when I deal with people. And he goes, well, I ain't fucking moving. I said, I'm giving you an order to get to stepping and identify yourself and pull your mask down. Fuck you, I ain't gonna do that either. I said, okay, if you're not gonna identify yourself, you're going back in my car until you identify yourself. But he wasn't breaking any laws. He's allowed to film all day long.
Did they ever tell him to leave or anything? Or was he ever on?
They're saying he was on the grass. Wolf's double checking, because if he was on this portion of the grass, that's technically theirs. That portion's not. Like I said, when I got here, he was standing on the sidewalk filming, which he's allowed to do. But he says he knows you.
Well, he's done some video requests before. I know I can get his name. I know that. We have him in a report or two. I just can't think of it right off my head.
Wolf did a traffic stop on him here a while back.
Yeah.
But he's trying to find his name and he can't find it. Of course he locked it. Once he tells me his name, it's free to go.
I've got his name. As long if there's no crime from on their end, then
Okay. I'll wait for Wolf to come back and then.
we probably need to want to know if they're going to want to trespass him from here.
But I'm not going to play the game coming back every 20 minutes either.
Well, if he ain't on their property, then he's not trespassing.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying.
I mean on their end before we kick him.
I did not curse him that way. I did not curse him at all. He said I said fuck you, and I did not curse him at all. He's lying.
That might just be a figure. I always talk like that.
I did not curse at you.
I always talk like that. But regardless, I gave you it. I'm not gonna. We're not gonna overtalk each other.
Let me talk to him.
We're not gonna overtalk over each other.
Let me talk to him.
To the sergeant. I did not see that. I said.
They're not going to do anything about it. They don't want him trespassed or anything.
Then why did they call?
I don't know. They said that they had customers coming in and coming to the drive-thru, coming on the call lines, saying that they felt unsafe and that he.
Yeah, he didn't break any laws because he was on the sidewalk.
Right, and saying that they were he was pointing at them, harassing them, and just doing all sorts of things, just basically pointing a camera and pointing at them.
Oh, okay.
So he hasn't done anything aside from not identifying.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Okay.
But
Well, as soon as Meyer gets done, I'll cut him loose and we'll just play the game. Every 20 minutes we'll be back dealing with him.
We're making sure there's no criminal offense that was committed before we got here at the bank.
And there wasn't, so...
They called us.
But he put me in cuffs
That's a
because I
detainment.
was not moving.
That's a detainment. He had an investigation to do
I'm
here at the
telling you,
bank.
y'all messed up. Y'all messed up extremely bad.
You always say that to us.
I've not always said it to you. I've only had one interaction with you.
But every time we've dealt with you, it's always us.
It is y'all. Officer Clayton Wolf does not know the law. He asked me where I get my law book from. I said I don't have to identify myself if I'm a passenger in the vehicle. He tried to fabricate probable cause by saying I didn't have my seatbelt on when I in fact did on camera.
Okay,
So
but look.
he couldn't get my ID and identify me, so he doesn't know my name. Now you don't know my name because you don't remember the public record request that I submitted.
I just don't remember right off the top of my head.
He doesn't know my name because I never gave my name and or ID because I have not committed a crime.
Okay, and that may be the case.
Okay, so why am I still in cuffs?
Because we are in still investigation of this.
When
we
is
were
this-
called here for this.
Okay, so how long am I going to sit back here?
I'm going to talk to him. He went in to talk to them, and then we're going to figure this out. Give me another minute.
Is his body cam on?
yes, it is.
Don't mute yours, and don't mute
the recording on
Do
there?
not mute
You don't have
those
to show
body
him. You don't
cam.
have to show him that shit.
Is there a crime here? Are they wanting
They don't want
trespass?
trespass.
Alright.
They got nothing.
Okay. How about?
Yeah, I'm telling you, you done messed up. Put your hands on me like that. And I'm on a public easement and broke no law. Couldn't articulate any kind of law that I broke in, and you put me in handcuffs.
I sure did.
And you messed my shoulder up, so I need medical attention.
Well, you're going to be free to go.
No, I need medical attention because you done messed my shoulder up. Look how he's handling me.
Just let him get the cuffs on.
I'm relaxing. I'm relaxing. Look how he's handling me.
Once he gets the cuffs on,
No, I need medical attention. I can't even feel my hand.
Call for a medical.
I can't even feel my hand, bro.
Okay, well, he's calling for EMS.
Damn, bro.
You're free to go.
I can't even feel my hand. I need.
Here you go. Here's your shit.
I need an ambulance, man.
He's calling for one. It's kind of interesting.
What am I doing wrong? You put me on their property now. I have not stepped on their property at all.
You're free to go.
But I've always been free to go, and I was free to stay.
You wasn't. You were detained until he could
But
investigate
what
were.
crime have I committed?
That's what he was investigating.
What crime have I committed? Though?
That's what he was investigating. Once he went in and talked to him, and they said there was no crime, you're free to go. You're out of cuffs. You can go.
But what's your badge number name? What's your badge number name?
I'm not doing this video. That is Officer Winker, 708.
So why don't you get investigation?
We're not medical.
You're not the regular report.
We're not medical.
So y'all not the regular report.
That's up to him.
You're not the regular report.
There's no report to be done. There's no crime committed.
I can't bring you and put you in handcuffs.
I did. I have the right to do that. I can detain you, but I'm done talking to you.
You cannot articulate what crime I committed.
Do you want to ride to the fire station?
I need to see someone to see my shoulder.
If you want to ride, I'll give you a ride.
I need someone to see my shoulder on the scene.
I'm offering you a ride, right? To go right there.
702, there to be giving the subject a ride to the fire station.
Alright, fellow patriots, if you'd like to watch the original video of this incident, you can do so on the Missouri Southern Accountability channel. I'll leave the link in the description below the like button. Now, as you all know, I've been covering police interactions for quite some time now, and Officer Gregory Wenker is one of the most ignorant tyrants I've ever seen. How are we in 2025 and a law enforcement officer with almost 30 years of experience not know that video recording on a public sidewalk is a constitutionally protected activity? This unlawful detainment happened because Officer Wenker's ego, as we have seen time and time again. He just couldn't handle the fact that the auditor wouldn't obey him and leave the scene, even though he had no legal obligation to do so. So he took the auditor's camera, handcuffed him, and threw him in the back of a patrol car, all while saying he hasn't committed any crimes. Officer Wenker, let me give you some legal advice here. Number one, one, exercise your right to remain silent so you do not incriminate yourself, because that's all you did in this video. And number two, just because you say something is a lawful order doesn't mean that it is. And it sure as hell doesn't mean that you could just detain and identify people whenever you want while you investigate a non-crime. Shame on the other officer involved for not interjecting and protecting this auditor's constitutional rights. And shame on the sergeant, because even though he ordered him released, he was still copsplaining the unlawful detainment instead of acknowledging Officer Wenker's egregious and unlawful behavior. The worst part about all of this is that this tyrant just cost the taxpayers of Lake Ozark money, because we all know he will be given qualified immunity and face no repercussions whatsoever. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the main problem with law enforcement, the lack of accountability. This is why I'm grateful to have a platform to expose these tyrants to the world. Make sure you hit the like button and share this video so as many people as possible can see it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Can't wait to read them. As always, stay safe. God bless. I'll see you in the next one. Long Island Audit. Peace.